Welcome back, Reds. Huge Liverpool news today. A blocked Liverpool transfer, Salah training clash drama, Robertson speaking out, and Galatasaray's boss firing shots at Liverpool. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest Liverpool updates. Liverpool in close contact with perfect €40 million winger to replace Mo Salah as intense bidding war looms. Liverpool are in contact with the agency of former Aston Villa winger Moussa Diaby to bring him to Anfield as a potential replacement for Mohamed Salah, according to a report which has revealed the intense bidding war that the Reds' owners, Fenway Sports Group, FSG, could face from Newcastle United. Mo Salah is under contract at Liverpool in the summer of 2027, but there is a very good chance that this is the final season of the Egyptian winger at Anfield. The former Chelsea attacker's form has dripped in the 2025-26 campaign, and we understand that he could join the Saudi Pro League this summer. Our transfer insider, Graham Bailey, has reported that the Saudi Pro League is preparing a formal offer to sign Salah from Liverpool in the summer of 2026. Liverpool have already been working behind the scenes to sign a replacement for Salah, with Michael Olise of Bayern Munich and RB Leipzig star Jan Diomande on the radar of the defending Premier League champions. Moussa Diaby is also on Liverpool's list, according to Football Dayton, which has claimed that the Merseyside club are in close contact with the player's agency. Tottenham Hotspur, Newcastle United and Chelsea too are said to be in touch over a 2026 summer deal for the former Aston Villa right winger, according to the German report, which has added, Diaby's physical profile is a perfect fit for the Premier League's intense pace. Diaby, who spent the 2023-24 campaign at Aston Villa, joined Al Ittihad in the summer of 2024 for €60 million or £52 million or $70 million. The France international winger has scored 8 goals and given 29 assists in 61 matches in all competitions for the Saudi Pro League club so far in his career. Diaby is under contract at Al Ittihad until the summer of 2029, with Football Dayton reporting that the Saudi Arabian club will want at least €40 million or £35 million or $46.5 million for him. Moussa Diaby ready to return to Europe, sources. Our transfer insider, Graham Bailey, reported on February 27, 2026, that Moussa Diaby is prepared to return to Europe in the summer transfer window. Tottenham, Newcastle and Chelsea have also been contacted by intermediaries and offered the chance to sign the former Villa winger. Football Dayton has backed our claim, adding that Diaby's desire is to return to Europe, which is why Al Ittihad could be forced to sell him for less than the transfer fee they paid for him. The reporters noted that Newcastle United's financial strength could trigger an intense bidding war, adding that Borussia Dortmund are also keen on him. Latest Liverpool transfer news: Man United hijack on, Bayern door opens. Meanwhile, Liverpool are ready to launch a bid to sign a star who is in talks over a move to Manchester United in the summer transfer window. Liverpool have also announced a deal that will please the Anfield faithful, ensuring that the star stays at the club for the long term. And finally, Bayern Munich are said to be playing a dangerous game, as Liverpool get a chance to sign one of their best players. In another news, Liverpool star Andy Robertson reveals the truth behind Tottenham transfer talks. Liverpool defender Andy Robertson has lifted the lid on what really happened when Tottenham Hotspur tried to sign him back in the final days of the winter transfer window. Andy Robertson says it was he who decided to snub interest from Tottenham in the winter transfer window to remain at Liverpool, and then hinted he is ready to sign a contract extension. The veteran left-back, 31, emerged as a surprise target for Spurs in the final throes of January, presenting Robertson with the chance to bring the curtain down on his 9-year spell at Anfield. The Reds were happy to listen, so what the Scotland captain wanted to do, given the tremendous service he has given to the club since joining in 2017, before an injury to Joe Gomez complicated matters. But it was ultimately Robertson who made the call to stay with Liverpool, something he confirmed after Friday night's 3-1 win over Wolves in the FA Cup. And he hinted that is ready to extend his near-decade-long stay on Merseyside, despite the fact he is likely to have no shortage of suitors at the end of the season, when he would be available on a Bosman transfer. There was obviously interest there. There were discussions had with both sets of clubs, Robertson said. But the decision was that I wanted to stay. We stayed at Liverpool, and that was the decision made. I was never not committed. I've been committed to Liverpool for the last 8.5 or 9 years now, and I'll be committed until I'm no longer needed. That's always been my mindset. This club has given me everything, and I've given this club everything. It's been a fantastic relationship, so hopefully that continues, and obviously January happened, but it is now gone. Now we move forward, and like I said, my focus never came off trying to help the lads on the pitch and in training. Whatever was happening behind the scenes happened, and all I can say is that I kept focusing on football. Summer signing Milos Kerkez has usurped Robertson in Arne Slot's team this season, but the Scot produced an impressive performance to help Liverpool reach the FA Cup quarter-finals at Molineux, breaking the deadlock in fine fashion. He stressed that while talks would remain private, fans would be the first to know once there is news on the contract front. Robertson continued, "I've always said that the talks will stay between me and the club. I don't think it will get played out in public. It is not one of them. I have got an amazing relationship with Richard Hughes and with Mike Gordon and Michael Edwards. I've had a good relationship with these people, and these people brought me to the football club. They have helped make me who I am, so in that respect, we've had a fantastic relationship. I think out of respect to them, and they have respected me, then the conversations will be in-house. When a decision is made, and we're getting to the point where I only have 3 months left on my contract, it will be announced to you guys." In another news, Arne Slot's Liverpool problem worsens after accepting Rio Ngumoha's request. Rio Ngumoha has been one of the recent standout performers for Liverpool, but it could be tricky for Arne Slot to start the youngster more often. Rio Ngumoha's rise has been one of the most thrilling aspects of the season for Liverpool fans, and Arne Slot has a decision to make regarding starting the teenager. Since his switch from Chelsea's academy, the young winger has generated considerable buzz. He made his Premier League bow last August and celebrated it with a winning goal against Newcastle. The 17-year-old has become a regular fixture on Slot's bench, but in recent weeks, he has truly begun to flourish. Ngumoha's brief appearance at the conclusion of a disappointing 2-1 loss to Wolves on Tuesday was so impressive that Reds legend Steven Gerrard heaped praise on him and urged manager Slot to start him in the next match. Gerrard told TNT Sports, "Slot has to start Ngumoha now. He has to start him because he's coming on and he's doing more in a short cameo in a short space of time than Cody Gakpo's doing in 65-70 minutes. He deserves to start now." Slot accepted the request, and the youngster was named in the starting 18 on the left wing for the FA Cup rematch against Wolves on Friday. Ngumoha delivered. The teenager was awarded Player of the Match accolades for a dynamic display in the 3-1 triumph, during which he topped the team in successful dribbles and duels won. The question now is, how frequently does Ngumoha feature in the starting lineup moving forward? Mirror Football takes a look at the options available to head coach Slot. In his recent substitute appearances, Ngumoha has featured on the left flank, frequently alongside Cody Gakpo, Slot's preferred choice in that position, who has either been withdrawn or moved centrally. The most straightforward adjustment Slot could implement would be to omit Gakpo, but the Dutchman confronts another headache when Alexander Isak returns from his extended injury layoff. Prior to his fitness setback, much of the Liverpool team selection debate centred on whether Hugo Ekitike and Isak would both feature regularly in the starting 18. They commanded fees of £79 million and £125 million respectively, so it's anticipated Slot will want both on the field as frequently as possible. Throughout Isak's absence, Ekitike has been indispensable, and this will probably continue when the Swede makes his comeback. If both feature, Slot tends to deploy Ekitike on the left, where he functions as a wide second striker. This congestion will only intensify Slot's conundrum regarding Ngumoha, as it's improbable he'd choose to replace either Isak or Ekitike with the young Englishman, let alone the considerably more seasoned Gakpo. Another avenue the Reds manager could explore is repositioning Ngumoha out to the right. He is right-footed, though much of his dazzling dribbling and superb inverted wide play depend on him cutting inside from the left. However, he is adept at playing in that position, and with Mohamed Salah approaching the latter stages of his career, this could be where Ngumoha truly establishes himself as a first-team regular. A forward trio of Ekitike, Isak and Ngumoha, supported by the creative prowess of Florian Wirtz, could form a potent attacking force for Slot, who is undoubtedly spoilt for choice. In another news, Mohamed Salah clashed with Liverpool teammate in training, and things haven't been the same since. Liverpool icon Mohamed Salah has endured a tough campaign, with the forward struggling for goals and assists. Mohamed Salah's form has been a major cause of concern for Liverpool this season. However, the genesis of his downturn may lie in a controversial moment between the Egyptian and Trent Alexander-Arnold that happened a year ago. Back on March 10, 2024, as Liverpool were running away with their 20th top-flight title, Salah and Alexander-Arnold were caught on camera shoving each other and squaring up during a training session. While Alexander-Arnold, who left Liverpool to join Real Madrid in the summer, looked visibly irked, Salah appeared to see the funny side. He was seen laughing in the face of his former teammate as Ibrahima Konate and Harvey Elliott stepped in to ease any tensions. Those close to the team claimed the coming together was light-hearted banter. The pair were even reportedly spotted around the training complex, laughing and joking, but Salah's numbers ever since tell a different story. Salah was instrumental for Arne Slot last season as the Reds won the Premier League. He was responsible for 57 goal contributions in all competitions, winning the PFA Players Player of the Year for the third time, the FWA Footballer of the Year, and Premier League Player of the Season. Yet following the incident, Salah recorded just 2 goals and bagged 1 assist in the remaining 9 games of the title-winning campaign. This is compared to the 27 goals and 17 assists he had logged prior to his run-in with his teammate. Salah signed a new 2-year contract with Liverpool in May 2025, but his underwhelming numbers have continued. While the former Roma man netted in the Reds' 2-1 loss away to Wolves on Wednesday, this season, Liverpool's talisman has scored just 8 goals and recorded as many assists in all competitions. Salah did miss a chunk of Premier League action in January due to the Africa Cup of Nations, however. Since March 10, 2024, Salah, 33, has hit just 11 goals and landed 13 assists. The winger's slump since the moment with Alexander-Arnold could also just be a mere coincidence or a wider issue related to Liverpool's poor form since winning the title. The relationship between Salah and Alexander-Arnold appeared rosy before and after their shoving match. Salah even leapt to the defence of the England star after sections of the Liverpool support booed Alexander-Arnold in a game against Arsenal last May after he relayed his intentions to leave the club. "I think somehow the fans were being harsh with him," Salah told Sky Sports. "I think he didn't deserve it at the time. He deserved the fans to treat him the best way possible because he gave it all to the fans. I told him yesterday, don't give me eye contact in your farewell," added Salah. "I really love him. I think he deserves the best farewell leaving the club. He has done a lot for the city and done a lot for the club, and he's one of probably the best players in the club's history. He gave it all. I really wish him the best. I'll always be in contact with him." The respect was mutual, as Alexander-Arnold publicly backed his ex-Liverpool teammate following Salah's controversial comments in December after he was axed from the squad for several games. Salah shared a wordless Instagram post featuring a graphic highlighting his status as the player with the most goals and assists for a single club in Premier League history. The fullback responded to Salah's post on Instagram with a goat emoji, a nod to the Liverpool forward being the greatest of all time. In another news, Galatasaray boss criticises his players for focusing too much on Liverpool tie. Liverpool faces Galatasaray in the Champions League this week, and Galatasaray boss Okan Buruk has criticised his players in the build-up to the last 16 encounter. Galatasaray's manager was critical of his players for looking too far into the future, ahead of the Turkish side's meeting with Liverpool. Galatasaray was in Super League action against local rival Besiktas on Saturday, claiming a narrow win despite ending the game with 10 men following Leroy Sane's dismissal. After the game, which was settled by a single Victor Osimhen strike, Gala boss Okan Buruk said that his players had been too preoccupied with the Champions League last 16 first leg against Liverpool, which takes place on Tuesday, without any away fans at Anfield. They were all talking about the Liverpool match before the derby game against Besiktas, which was a very important match in its own right, Buruk said. Besiktas had claimed some good results against us, so it was too early to think about Liverpool. We had to think about the league match first. The Liverpool match was one to think about after we'd got through the derby because we knew a victory in that game would mean we're much better prepared for Tuesday. Liverpool has already faced Galatasaray this season, having travelled to the Ali Sami Yen Stadium during the league phase back in September. It was a miserable evening for the Reds on that occasion, as Victor Osimhen's penalty secured a 1-0 win in a game that also saw Alisson pick up an injury that would rule him out for several games. Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk is looking forward to returning to Turkey as the Reds continue their pursuit of a 7th European Cup. "To get silverware is always our aim," Van Dijk said after Liverpool's FA Cup win over Wolves on Friday. "I've been very privileged to experience so many good nights and winning silverware with this beautiful club, and that's what we aim for. But this season obviously has been very difficult for a lot of reasons, and I said it from day one that it was going to be a very difficult season. But we're here now, we've made progress, but obviously now and then, we are also not doing well, and that's what we have to take in our process. That's what we did at Wolves. We played well, we won, and it is on to the next game. Now it's Champions League, where we will focus on a very difficult game where our ears will be tested as well again. But it's nice. It's an absolute blessing to be out there again, and hopefully we can get a good result there. In another news, my dream Liverpool transfer was blocked by jealous manager despite pay cut promise. A former Liverpool star desired a return to Merseyside, but claimed his return was blocked after a relationship breakdown. Stephen Warnock has claimed that a jealous Gerard Houllier thwarted his return to Liverpool from Aston Villa. The 44-year-old alleges he even proposed to slash his wages in half to facilitate the move, but his appeal was dismissed. Warnock kicked off his career with the Reds and racked up 67 first-team appearances before departing in 2007. Following a stint at Blackburn Rovers, he found himself at Villa Park playing under the legendary former Liverpool manager Houllier, who died in 2020. After a disagreement, the fullback sought a transfer and his childhood club were ready to welcome him back initially on loan. However, his Anfield reunion never came to pass despite his willingness to reduce his salary, and Warnock believes Houllier was responsible. Speaking on In the Mixer, sponsored by Sky Bet, Warnock revealed, "So Gerard Houllier was the manager of Aston Villa, and I had a falling out with him. I was basically put on the reserve team squad. Then Gary McAllister came to me, another assistant manager doing the manager's job, to say, Kenny Dalglish has been on the phone. He wants to re-sign you for Liverpool. It was at least on loan to start with a view to a permanent. So I was like, yeah, brilliant, get it done. And he was like, it's the right thing for you, go back and enjoy your football. But I think there was an element of Gerard Houllier being jealous of the fact that I could go and play for Liverpool and I could go back there and be happy. It's a bad look. So they turned around at the last minute and put, I think, a £500,000 loan fee on. Liverpool were like, hang about, you've just changed the goalposts. Anyway, the deal fell through and I ended up sitting in the reserves for the rest of the season, head lost completely. I mean, it got to the point where they had to move me off the reserve team pitch because I was booting balls into the middle of their training sessions. When I was supposed to be going back to Liverpool, I said to them with the loan deal, well, if we can make it work, chop my wages in half. I was like, I'll take less. I don't care. Just let me go back and play. They were like, no, we can't do that. That was Villa saying that. I was like, yeah, you can. You're making half my wages back for doing nothing. Just let me go, and Liverpool are going to cover my wages there. They wouldn't do it. Houllier stepped down as Villa manager at the conclusion of the 2010-11 season after a period of ill health. Warnock was reintegrated by his successor, Alex McLeish, and remained at Villa Park for another season before a loan spell at Bolton and a subsequent permanent move to Leeds. He later played for Derby, Wigan, Burton Albion and Bradford before hanging up his boots in 2018 and transitioning into punditry. That's all for today's Liverpool update. What do you think about the Salah clash and the blocked Liverpool transfer story? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on notifications for daily Liverpool news and transfer updates. See you in the next video, YNWA.